Doctor Detective, 12 episode mystery and a novel adaptation. Now, in this story, we have our main character Takao Amaneko, who is a genius doctor who uses her vast medical knowledge to solve mysteries. Now, most of those mysteries takes place at the hospital itself where she works at, but most of them also take place out in the field outside of the hospital. Now, the mysteries themselves are there is a variety of mysteries that do capture your interest. A person that has blue blood, a closed off room, but the person died out of drowning even though there's no source of water inside the room, and so on, spontaneous combustion, and so on and so on. So there are a variety of mysteries that take place throughout the 12 episodes that might capture your interest, but the thing is that unless you have a vast medical knowledge, this is the type of mystery show that you are just here along the ride. And what I mean is that you're not going to, like other mysteries, that you are able to solve the mystery alongside the main character by watching clues or scenes throughout the episodes. No, unless you have a good degree of medical knowledge, you are mostly here for the ride to see how the main character reaches her conclusions, and deduce who is the main culprit or the murderer or the cause of death or the reason why the patient, if he's still alive, was causing him or her disease, and so on. Now, I think that when it comes to the story, that is all I can say. Obviously, I'm not going to give spoiler to tell you what is the cause or who is the murderer or something like that. So when it comes to the story, I'm going to leave it there. Now to my the characters. When it the main the technically we have two main characters. We have, like I said, the main character, Amaneko Taoko, who, yes, the genius doctor. Now, by looking at the poster image of the anime alone, you would think that she is a shell genius, and I thought that too. But no, she is an adult. Now, by context, because it's never outright said what her age is, by context, she's in her late 20s. She isn't a child genius, but she is a genius. And she even declared herself that because she has a way of thinking that a high IQ, let's just say that she has a very high IQ, and she can notice or absorb more knowledge faster than the average person. Now, the problem is that, like many genius people, or at least they pick in media, she has a problem communicating with other people. She is very she it has difficult connect emotionally with other people, and she also has a bit of a loose mouth, that for her actions or what she says makes sense, but to everybody else it come out as rude or aggressive, like saying to a mother, this in the first episode, to a mother, causing, without she noticing, causing a medical problem to her child, and instead of being compassionate, oh, you didn't mean to cause your child to be sick. No, she right out say, was a stupid mother causing her own child to get sick, stuff like that. Or going a patient being misdiagnosed by another doctor from the hospital that she works at, and even though she doesn't have the permission from the head doctor from that department, she just switched out the medicine without telling anybody, and and yes, it did meant it we she being a genius. Yes, that was the correct medicine to give it to the patient, but the doctor that was in charge of that patient wasn't angry that she did what she did by changing the medicine. She was angry that she did it without telling anybody. She just did it on her own without proper procedures, and that's what caused her to be in getting the bad side of many of her colleagues. Now, the Amaneko Takao being the main character, she you could say that she's like the Sherlock Holmes of the story, but every Sherlock Holmes needs her Watson. So we have our other main character, Takanishi, who also works as a doctor, as a assistant towards Ameko, and yes, he also sorry, he also is learning because she being learning out of her. She being a genius, and he has much to learn out of her. But he also is a black belt in karate, so she also in many of her investigations, he also does serve as a type of bodyguard, and that's it. Now we also have supporting characters. We have a variety of supporting characters, but technically there is only one that caught my interest, or that I say there is of any importance, and is a detective by the name of Sakurai, who is the detective that Ameko being just a doctor. She's not a detective or anything like that. She just is a medical curiosity just capture her interest, and she just want to solve it. But she does have run-ins with Sakurai, the official detective, who does swap clues or information with her, giving her the necessary clues that him being a detective, he does have the access to help her solve the mystery. And well, along the way, he has a little bit of credit towards his career. Now, that's mostly it. When it comes to the story, it's very bare bone. There's no tragic backstory. There's not a super noble and kind-hearted reason why Ameko is doing what she does with solving these medical mysteries. She just simply does it because she just is super curious, and she just likes to solve a good mystery. Now, once in a while, those mysteries does have something to do with her herself. So it's most likely she's just solving them because it benefits her. But the story, there's not much of a story. That is mostly a case after case. Some cases last just one episode. There are cases that last like most of the cases last 2 episodes, and I think that only one case lasted 3 episodes, if I remember correctly. Now, technically, there is a little bit of character growth with the main character Ameko, who does who she being a genius, she does never experience, she obviously never making a mistake being such a genius, never making a medical mistake. So she has never lost a patient in her care. But there's a kid that sadly suffer from cancer, and even though she can give the best treatment, cancer doesn't have an official cure. There's treatment that has a high likelihood beating cancer, but there's not a outright cure. So never have lost a patient. Sadly, this I would say little spoiler here. Sadly, the child does died, and she have to experience that pain of not being able to save a patient for the first time and help her growth as a doctor. Now, I think that I have told you everything that yes, I already gave all my opinions that I can say, because I cannot spoil anything more, being a mystery. No, I'm not going to say the murderer or the cause of death or anything like that. So I'm just going to stop here and give you my score. Now my score is going to be a 5 out of 10. Now to me, a 5 is average. When it comes to an average anime, some people might hate it more than others, and some people might like it more than others. Now that's what up to you. The If you do decide to give this anime a chance, it is up to you to decide. So I'm going to leave it here. So have a good day, have a good night, wherever you're from, and see you next video.